Hello once again, welcome back to yet this video. It was made on request. Thank you for liking the video. So you've requested me to make a video specifically integrating fuma-docs into an already existing project, which we're gonna do. I've not done it before, and I'm just gonna do it live now. I didn't have I had a long day, so I couldn't even first practice it before, making a video for this. So anyways, I have already a code block here. It's a Next.js application. So this is like what we made in this video here. If you can go into my channel and you search this convex, what we built into this application is basically what we're going to use to integrate the docs. And without wasting more time, I have the documentation here, which I'm going to link into the description, having this manual installation which you're gonna follow all along. So now, without wasting time, let's get started. So one thing they tell us first to install these. So if you're using pnpm yarn ban, click that and do what you're supposed to do. But I'm using npm, which that's why I'm gonna copy this, come on my terminal and paste it and hit enter. So like now this is gonna start installing all what's needed for me. Okay, so I don't know why this word should not be here. Good. So if I go ahead and continue, they tell us you can choose a content source. Basically, fuma-docs works with content source. It has the content collections and the fuma-docs MDX. But I urge you, or they also urge you to use this fuma-docs MDX, which I have on my left-hand side here, which you're gonna follow. So it tells us more about the MDX is the official content source of fuma-docs. It provides the tools for Next.js to transform content types that are similar to content layer and content collections. So the getting started is simple. So they tell us this package requires fuma-docs core, which we are trying to install now here, as you can look. And we now need to install the MDX and their type. So I'm just going to copy this and come back here. This has finished installing, and paste it there and install. So with that done, they're telling us to add the plugin to our nextconfig.mjs. So now fuma-docs works with mjs, as we're going to see down there. It doesn't work with ts. So if you're still using Next.js, it's very good. You can still use the mjs. So I'm just going to go ahead into my ts. I add the ts, but I'm going to go ahead and rename it to mjs, and I hit enter. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this and come back here. I'll just click yes. I'm going to go and copy this into my the next mjs, and replace it with this. Are we together? So it's going to run imports from this, like that. So with that done, telling me to define the collections. So the collections refer to a collection containing certain types of files. There are two: or is the docs and the meta, which you can get to learn more about it. But the fuma-docs MDX will build collections into arrays of types that are accessible in the Next.js application. So they tell us you can define and configure collections by creating a config file called this source.ts, source.config.ts, which should be on your route. So I'm just going to go on my route and paste it there and hit enter. So with that done, I'm just going to go ahead and save this. Okay, so I'm just going to come onto my source and copy this and paste it here, which is now trying to initialize that we're going to have this is as a type of document, which is going to be basing on the content and docs. And I save this. So with that, they say, this is what I was trying to say. Only files in the directory specified with ER will be included in the collection. Okay, anyways. For fuma-docs to work, they tell us you can use the define docs. We can define the docs, or we can go ahead with this type. So they urge us maybe to go on with this. So if you click that and we go over again into this same file, we can just go and rename all of this to this and hit enter. So with that done, we can come back here. They tell you more what you can do within the source, which I'm not gonna do, but they tell us now the output folder. Once you run the they tell us once you run the next dev or next build, it generates a .source folder in the root. So the folder contains all the output data and its types you should use. So, and they tell us we should add it to the git ignore. So the fuma-docs mdi command generates types for this folder without running Next.js and blah blah. So they tell us you can add it as post installed. So you can go ahead and copy this, and we go into our scripts, our package scripts here, and maybe add it somewhere down like this and save. So with that done, they tell us accessing the collections. You can access the entire collections from the .source.ts, which will be auto-generated. But they tell us now to integrate with this. We need to create a folder. In our lib to add source.ts, which I'm copying now, going to the lib and creating a folder called source.ts, which I'll hit enter, and I'll go ahead and copy this and I'll paste it here like this. So it's still getting an error because we haven't generated the source for this, which we're going to do later. So now we've imported the source from blah. Now they tell us create mdx text an array of all the documents. This is just good to know. Now they tell us we can start the server. So a source folder should be created. You can log and see if it's loaded properly. They give us more of the usage and all of that. But if you finish here, this part, the next part we still want to continue with is this way. Now here they were giving us exactly what we should have into our docs. Into our source, which we have here. Imported this and this. Great. So in the root layout, they tell us to do something like this. Import this. So I'm just copying that and coming to my root layout, which is here, and importing it maybe around here. Just gonna minimize this, and now I have to change all of this body of mine. So I'm just gonna copy, first gonna copy this, press hide this error warning, and put it here, and copy now my body here, and try to put it here. Since I have already a body existing, just gonna go ahead and copy this and put it all over here. Okay, I don't need to cut the layout, I just need to copy and paste it here, and I'll copy my styles which I have here and put them here. They tell us we can use Tailwind too, which is okay, but I'll just leave those there since this is not a styling lesson, and then I'll delete this, which is okay. So now the next thing which they're telling us to set up Tailwind CSS on Next.js. So if we go ahead and copy this preset and go into our Tailwind CSS, Tailwind config at the top here, and we import it, now we can have access to the content whereby we can add all of this. So we have added it, just coming down there into the content and pasting it just like this and saving it. So after that, they tell us it does not come in the default font, so you can change. That's easy. So they tell us to create a layout.config in our app. So I'm copying it, coming here. This is our app. I'm gonna create that file which is there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and paste in this. So you can go ahead and call it YouTube fuma-docs, something like this, and save it. So now they tell us create a folder apps, a folder in the app. So I can come here and create a folder called docs, hit enter. Can't see you have already. Let me delete this. I'm gonna go ahead and create a folder called docs, hit enter. Now in our docs, they tell us to add a layout.tsx, which I'm copying now and coming here and creating a layout.tsx, copying this code and pasting it here. This is like a copy and paste game. So after there, they tell us to create this catch-all route segment. This is a Next.js. If we create this still into the docs, I can add a folder, call it maybe to pass in the slug, and then I'll add the page.tsx, which I'll come here. Since we are using the former MDX, we shall use this, but if you're using the content collections, you use this. But we're gonna use this, and that's why I'm clicking here to copy it and pasting it here as it is. So now we are gonna get some errors and all of that because some things haven't generated yet. Okay, so if you get there, now they tell us to integrate the search. You can go to get an API search route.ts, which I can do like this, copy it and come here and create maybe a file, or folder this way. Okay, if I create this and paste this, it won't work. API seems okay. Delete this. Create an API. We need to create an API. Then we add a search, and then we add route.ts. And then I hit enter. So with that, I just go ahead and copy this and paste it here and save it. So is that they tell us done, you can start the dev server and create MDX files in the content docs. So meaning I have to go ahead out here and create a folder called content. I need to create it out. Content. What's wrong with this? So I'll just go ahead and create a folder called content. Jesus. What's wrong? Content, which is like this. And then I'll go ahead and paste in this. No, content docs. Then I'll add another folder, another folder called docs. Then after adding docs, I'll add in this index.mdx. So that I copy this and paste it here. tsconfig, is there a part we missed which had? Because I think we should do something with that tsconfig. Let me try to verify. Okay, I think we are good. So if I try to, maybe try to save this, ts, trying to find. What's the name? Okay, let me find here. Okay, so what we want to do first is running the post install, the one we created here. I think if we do npm run post install, so it's gonna go ahead and those as types generated. If we check our application, still have some errors. Good. If we go ahead and run npm run dev initialized map file table. Okay, I think it created the source folder because the source, because I remember we had error here, but now you can see it has the source. It has created the source up here, which is good. The only error we're having is about this image, which I believe we are not gonna use. Can delete it and return with image. Maybe all of this I can comment it out and save this, so it's working. Now if I go onto my localhost, I'm directly gonna go to localhost/docs. So I hit enter. It's gonna try to refresh. Okay, so as it's refreshing, I'm going to verify how many files we've changed. So as you can see, we've changed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've changed 12 files, and it's trying to compile to see that maybe we have something running. Okay, so they've created for us the source after running this command, the npm run post install. So after that, they created for us that. And under the docs, we have a simple doc saying, hello, I love a name. Okay, so it has compiled the docs. It's now heading over to the node fonts, compile the 404. So if we have a look, guess what, guys? We have it working already. It's like beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's working. Like dark mode, it has dark mode, it has light mode. We can do the Ctrl K and say, for example, maybe trying to make a search, which I think also should be working. It's trying to, you see, it's trying to go to compiled API search. Then it has got the query here, and then it has returned what it should return is hello world. When someone clicks it, there where they're supposed to be. So like this is really amazing. This is honestly cool documentation. Now we named this fuma-docs. If you remember, I think fuma-docs. If we search around here, we went into the layout.ts, which is here in the app where we made all of that. You know, you can add icons on it, you can add a lot of stuff you want, but basically this is how easy it is to set this up, and we've done it in less than 20 minutes. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day.